Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The game remembered by many as, well, it was one of the best Sonic games out there. But did you know that it was going to have a lot more stages than it does? So let's dive into them. I'm Obby the Great One, and let's do this. So as we know, Sonic 2 has the main stages like Emerald Hill Zone. However, there were going to be a ton more stages, but I'm going to go over a few. A few of them. So in a few prototypes of Sonic 2, there existed a few stages that you could play that weren't in the final game. One of them, the first stage that was there was Wood Zone, which was basically a zone where you were in a tree, some sort of tree. I really don't understand why, but whatever. So basically, Wood Zone would have used sort of a remix of Metropolis Zone's theme. And stuff like that. However, that idea was scrapped. However, there's one stage that is iconic. The Hidden Palace Zone. This stage has actually been in re-releases of the game, sort of. The layout has changed, and you can it's accessed in a pretty cool way. In the stage Mystic Cave Zone, you actually have to fall down a pit in re-releases like Sonic Origins or Sonic 2, 2013 mobile port. It's even in some ROM hacks like Sonic 2 The Secret Zones and Sonic 2 Anniversary Edition. Another known stage, but yeah, it's still a pretty cool zone. It actually gets a new boss in re-releases. However, in the mobile version of the game, you could also access the original Hidden Palace, which is known as Proto Palace Zone, playing the debug code, playing the sound test code, playing this code in the sound test 333B 101010-4, like that, and it's not in Sonic Origins. I guess they went out of their way to Sega went out of their way to remove it, but yeah, it's still a pretty good way. The Hidden Palace Zone was going to be something you would have gotten if you got all the Chaos Emeralds. So yeah, that would have been a pretty cool thing. I mean, then again, Hidden Palace is sort of used in Sonic 3. As you actually get all the if you get all the emeralds, you can actually access it through Big Ring in Mushroom Hill. So at least it managed to live on. Another iconic stage we might not recognize would be Dust Hill Zone. It's not recognized because as it's barely ever used, but it's barely ever mentioned or anything. Or is it? You see, in the 2011 version of Sonic CD, the creator, Christian Whitehead, was actually planning on adding a Dust Hill like stage called Desert Dazzle Zone. And, funny enough, in an older version of the game, you can still access it using the developer menu. Similarly, Sonic 2 was going to have an Egg Gauntlet Zone in the mobile version for some reason. And if you play a sound test code in Sonic CD that I don't really know, you can I can't remember what it was though. You can see some image by Christian Whitehead that shows Sonic in Desert Dazzle. Desert Dazzle was based off of Dust Hill Zone, basically. It would have been like a desert stage. And then, funny enough, it's actually put into a Sonic game. Because, for those who played Sonic Mania, you'll recognize the Mirage Saloon, which could be what Desert Dazzle and Dust Hill were. What was based off of Desert Dazzle and Dust Hill. So yeah, like I said, like Hidden Palace, it probably, I guess, managed to live on. One stage that didn't, however, is the Genocide City Zone, which makes sense. Who would want to play a stage named that? But anyway, yeah. In other versions, it was renamed to Cyber City, I guess to make it more appropriate for kids. So yeah. Before we move on, I would like to do an honorable mention of how we are already at 100 subs, even though we just lost one, like 99 subs. But I'm still making 100 subs special because, well, we at least made it. But anyways, so yeah. Our next goal is 500 subs. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't watched any of my videos, and if you like them, hit that subscribe button, and consider liking as well. So anyway, some other stages would have been like Rock World Zone, I believe, but they were also like scrapped. Also, but that's not all for scrapped Sonic 2 stages, because like I mentioned before, in the mobile version, there was going to be a stage called Egg Gauntlet Zone, but just like Desert Dazzle, it was scrapped. It would have been like the boss rush in the mobile version of the game, basically. So, yeah, it would have just tied all the bosses into like one stage, sort of like what ROM Hack's done, like Robotnik's Revenge, which actually puts all Sonic 1 and 2 bosses in one stage. But anyway, yeah. Other things that stages were going to be done was like Aquatic Ruin was going to be named Neo Green Hill. I know that it's not mentioned, but Neo Green Hill is the name of a stage in the later Sonic games. In Sonic Advance, the first stage of that game is named Neo Green Hill Zone. I guess it fits in better there instead of here, because Aquatic Ruin does not look anything like Green Hill. Fun fact, Green Hill was also in a prototype for Sonic 2, the earliest prototype to be exact, Sonic 2 Nick Arcade prototype. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, Green Hill Zone was in it if you used level select for some reason. It would be really glitchy though, and would have like no collision in some places. And for some reason, even though Tails wasn't present in any of the game, if you select Green Hill, he's actually there for some reason. Meaning that he was actually there. In fact, meaning that he was actually in the prototype. He just wasn't seen. He just wasn't coded for any stage except that one. And besides, this prototype also uses other Sonic 1 assets. So it makes sense that Tails wouldn't be in any of the Sonic 2 stages, because it uses Sonic 1 assets like music and stuff like that. However, there was also a mechanic where you'd, for some reason, bounce off a wall. Besides that, nothing much about stages. They all stayed the same. But here's something: if you played the stages in the prototype via level select, you will need the bug mode for some of them, like Wood Zone, because it's basically unplayable without it. And even the Green Hill Zone, you need it in the Sonic 2 Nick Arcade, because basically that's unplayable without it. Also, some of the music for Sonic 2 was going to be entirely, it would stay the same, but it was going to sound a bit different. Like the boss theme, it was going to actually have, it was going to sound a little, you know, different, like, I don't really know how to put it, to be honest. But still. Yeah. Fun fact, I believe like some stages in Sonic 3D Blast were going to have names of Sonic 1 and 2 stages, like, or at least were probably placeholders because of a cassette tape the developer of the game, John Burton, had found, like Green Grove being named Green Alley, and the Spring Stadium being named Casino Night. I mean, Green Alley doesn't really reference anything. I thought for a minute I got confused with Green Hill. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to games like Sonic 1, there were no scrapped stages whatsoever. It's just there were incomplete stages in the prototype. Same thing goes for like Sonic 3. But anyway, yeah, not much for stages in Sonic 2. Like nothing much. But anyway, yeah. If you liked my video, consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out a ton. But anyways, this is Obby the Great One signing off.